Whenever a question comes to mind, search is one of the first places we turn to. Google Search has fundamentally changed the way we access information. But how much do we really know about it? We partnered with Google and invited someone from the search team to speak with our viewers so that we could ask them anything. Thanks to Google for sponsoring this episode.
My name is Danny Sullivan. I am Google's public liaison for search. I work within our search team to help foster two-way communications with people who are outside of Google and bring some of the questions and interests and issues that they may raise back into our search team. And I'm super excited to answer a lot of the questions people have here today.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming with some questions today.
So my first question is there someone on the other side judging my search history?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. When I first came to Google, I was asking about something and I said, well, here, I just did this. Can you do that? And he goes, oh, I can't. And he's like, I literally can't look at that because it's your private information. I don't have the ability to access that. There's no group of people going, ha!
That's a big relief. Thank you.
Good. So feel free to search away.
How do you decide what's most important?
It helps if I talk maybe a little bit about the parts of a search engine. So we go out and we visit pages across the internet. We store them in like sort of a big book of the internet. We kind of crawl through that book and pick out the pages that are relevant and different things we use to rank out some of those pages. If you were to take the index and all the pages that we have found, I think our statistic is it might go to the moon 12 times and back.
Oh, wow.
Most of those are cat videos. And we make use of what we call signals, like what are the words in the document? How do people link to this page? Are those good quality links? Is this page super loaded down with a bunch of ads and pop-ups? Does this page load really quickly on a mobile device? We put that all together and then that's how we decide what seems to be the most relevant thing to show.
That's really cool. It's so fast.
Yeah.
What happens to my search? Is it something that's saved? Does it go to an ether?
If you're searching with a Google account, then it'll be stored into your search history. You have the option to go through and say, I want to delete it all. If you really, really want to, you can just use Google Incognito. One of the things I think was really exciting to think about, like 6 months or so ago, we rolled it out so you could automatically delete your search history so that you would say after 3 months, or I think the other one was after 18 months, just automatically delete all this stuff. I don't want to keep it going. And then I think the other part that's important is, well, why have that information? And the reason we use it for Google search is because it will let us make better search results for you.
Yeah.
If you walked into a library and you went, backpack, right? Library, you're like, okay, and they would have a conversation with you. We don't kind of have that opportunity, but we do have the opportunity when you do a series of searches. So it's sort of that approximation.
So they kind of connect the dots for the searches that you make. And then my second question is, do they track your conversations? Like when you say stuff, when I'm talking and my phone's off and then I see ads of something exactly for that same thing. Is that true or no?
I've had it happen to me before as well. And you're like, oh,
yeah.
How did that happen? And it's like, no, I'll speak for Google. It's really not. You got to push something or do something to send us what you're talking about. Like you use the wake word, then the wake word will transmit that back to us. And it's just not going out there and just constantly transmitting a stream of information back. Wouldn't be that useful anyway, right?
Did the pandemic change the user behavior?
Yes. Wow, did it ever. We'd never seen so many searches for a single topic over a sustained period of time. So at first it's like, what are the symptoms of it? And then it's like, what are treatments or what are testing centers? And then it's what's open. How do I make a stay-at-home gym? How do I make sourdough bread? It's changed the way we've had to react to try to make sure we're getting all the best information out there in response for people as well.
It's like there's like a kind of union in a kind of sad way, but we're all together.
It's definitely been so much sadness, but there's also been, I think, a lot of hopefulness in the way a lot of people have unified and carried on and found ways to keep going.
I feel like the country is in such a polarizing time now. So I guess one example I'm thinking of is getting the flu shot. There are people who say it can help prevent COVID-19, and there are people who say it gives you a greater chance of it. If someone had previously looked things up related to, for example, the anti-vaccination side of it, would it be more difficult for them to find something that could possibly change their mind?
No, it shouldn't be more difficult at all. So what you're referring to sometimes gets termed as a filter bubble. So it's like you've looked at all this information, and so now you're going to get more information that aligns with, say, your preconceived view. A lot of people think that the search results for every individual are super personalized. They're not. They're really not. You're really going to get the same information. It's not going to change. I think one of the reasons why people sometimes get confused is because sometimes two different people can see very different results for the same search. That's not personalization when it happens. That's almost always localization. You said you were in Canada, is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If we both search for pizza places, we're going to get different results. You don't want to know the best pizza places in a city that's 100 miles away from you. So people can sometimes see that and go, oh, my results are much different, because they personalize them. And it's like, no. That's
me,
why
just for me.
there's differences.
My second question is a big one. Can the algorithm determine the difference between fact and fiction? And if not, does that worry you a little bit?
So no, it can't. Human beings can't even figure that out sometimes. It's like really complicated. But to the broader point, it's really that people want to be able to search for things and know that they're getting good, reliable information. And we think so, we hope so, and we certainly do our best to show the most reliable information we can.
Yeah, after all, you guys are a search engine. You're not like the fact checkers, right? So it makes sense.
Yes, but we do a lot of work to try to make sure we are surfacing good, like, fact checking. Sometimes if you search for something and we surface a fact check, we can even have it tell you, like, true or false according to that fact checker.
So one thing I want to know is, can the algorithm be racist?
So the algorithm is not designed to be racist. The web, just like society as a whole, can have racist or problematic content that's on it. That doesn't mean that we just say, well, that is what's out there and that's why it happens and that's our excuse. That's really more to explain why it can sometimes happen. There's always the chance that you could possibly do some kind of a search that might bring forward what's sometimes called a data void. This referred to the idea that there's not really good content that's written about a particular topic.
Yeah, I mean, are there any concrete examples where, racism in the world was influencing what was naturally maybe getting aggregated and you guys had to course correct it?
There's one good example. It's been very public that we talked about, which was a few years ago. If you searched for, did the Holocaust happen? We would tend to list a lot of Holocaust denial sites. It was quite simply because it's such a known fact that authorities were not writing content saying, yes, the Holocaust happened. One of the things that we learned from that was that we needed to do a better job of understanding, in cases where we don't have good, reliable information, that maybe we need to go beyond just the exact order of the words and the exact phrasing of the words and go more into the concept. So that instead of surfacing content that is, did the Holocaust happen? No, it didn't happen. It's denial content. You're surfacing more content about, say, the Holocaust in general. And then that helps people better understand the whole concept overall.
I'm finding that I'm spending a lot of time on Google these days, especially leading up to the election, just trying to understand the issues and candidates and all of that. Do you think that the search engine algorithm can contribute to political polarization that's kind of occurring sometimes in the States?
We hope that they don't. Our systems don't understand that any kind of content has any political lean or political polarization. Like, we don't know, like, that's a left-leaning page or a right-leaning page. Our systems also don't understand when someone's searching if they have any kind of political lean. So we don't have any of the ingredients to polarize if we wanted to in the first place. We really believe that there should be a commonality in the search results, and that really our goal is to try to show everybody the best information, most reliable information we can. And hopefully people take from that and they make their own decisions, and they look at a variety of information from a variety of resources and come to their own conclusions from that.
I've always wanted to know, how does the autocomplete feature on Google work? Because so many times it's freakishly close to what I'm actually thinking.
At the basic level, we're going through and trying to predict what's likely that you're going to type next based on all the searches that we've seen before. It saves, we figure, about 25% of the time that you would normally spend typing. And I think we even calculated one stat that, like, all the time savings is like 200 years of typing saved up each day. I'll also mention, by the way, that we won't always just show the most common searches that happen, that we won't show things that we think might be harmful or perhaps derogatory or that might be advancing stereotypes.
Sort of is a good thing that I guess there's a lot of people in the world that think like me, so that sort of makes the world a little bit smaller.
It totally resonated to me when you say I don't feel alone, because it was exactly how I felt. I think I even remarked to my wife on the couch, like, oh, we're not the only ones over here about that character or who that is.
Do you think having access to so much information increases anxiety, especially in young adults or young people?
I hope not. I don't think it should make you anxious that you have access to lots of information. I think if you're better informed, it should make you less anxious, hopefully. Sometimes it's pretty straightforward information like, I want to buy a suitcase. Sometimes it's like, I need to get to an earthquake shelter or a hurricane shelter, or I need to understand if I have a symptom or something.
I love that, especially like now you're not limited to learning just in school. Google really does help educate people and like get them resources that they wouldn't be able to get as immediately.
But one thing I would say is that it's not, I think, so much that we're educating, but the latter part of what you said, get you to the resources of information. And ultimately, it's really that people educate themselves, or they have great teachers, or they have great people who have supported them and brought them up. So it's nice that we're complementary, we're part of that overall process.
Yeah, critical thinking is like essential to living in a society like this, because you never know.
Yes. Well, it's very, very nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you, Danny.
This has been it's been a highlight of my month. Who talks to anybody anymore, right? I mean, you're talking about it. It's like, it's all new people.
I will say hi to you in my next Google search.
I won't see it because of privacy.
I was testing you.
Hey good humans, thank you so much for watching this video, and thanks to Google for partnering with us and sponsoring this episode. I literally use Google for everything, from fact-checking statements to seeing if chinchillas could eat paper. No. Thank you, Danny, for hanging out with us and answering some challenging questions. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our other Ask Me Anything videos, where we give you an in-depth look on different people and topics. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.